So here I am with the final product from my Edge project, and that was to 3D print an AR-15 lower receiver, test it out, and see how well it would work. Well, after multiple prints and finally getting something that was the right dimensions, I still had to do a lot of sanding and filing just so I could get the parts that fit inside. Even then, when they didn't fit very well. They were a lot of them are pretty snug, like the magazine is pretty snug inside there. Before I would fully assemble it and put it into a actual fully functional rifle, I decided to do a test fire on it to make sure everything would hold up. And don't know how well you can see this right here, but it didn't hold up that well. First fire and it cracked everything right here. So I'm trying to get this into focus so that you can actually see the crack. Sorry, still working on that. Anyway, I wish I could show you a little bit better, but for whatever reason my camera isn't focusing. You can kind of see it there. And the overall conclusion is that if you're going to 3D print an AR-15 lower, it is possible, I imagine, if you know exactly what you're doing and you have a lot of skill with a 3D printer and you get a really good file to use when you're making these things. But as for the average person just going out there and saying, hey, I'm just going to go and 3D print AR-15 lowers, it's really not that practical. This is a plastic part. It's not going to hold up to the same standards that a metal lower receiver would, or something that was professionally injection molded or something like that with the high strength plastics. I wouldn't say it was a waste. I mean, I had initially intended to actually go take this out to the range and see how long it would hold up, but obviously it didn't hold up well enough for me to even take it out to the range. Another part of the project that I had in mind was to take a 80% lower and finish milling it out, but I never got to that because trying to print this out and get it all fitted together, ended up taking far more. It took a lot more time than I had imagined it would. You know, I set out at the start of my Edge project with a lot of ambition to do a couple of things, but I severely underestimated how complex this would be. Needless to say, if you want to buy or build you a ghost gun, or a gun that doesn't have a serial number, this is probably the worst way, one of the worst ways you could go about it. It's overly complex and time consuming. Not to mention the finished product is nowhere near what you could get from just going buying one, or filing off the serial number of one, which is a felony, of course. But anyway, this is probably my last video, or one of them, and that's what I have.